Hello everyone. Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to discuss statistical programs. They are SPSS, STATA and R. This lecture is a part of your paper on communication research. This lecture will make you familiar with the idea of statistical program used in communication research. As you know, like natural science, communication researchers too use data through empirical observations. These observations are based and guided by theoretical foundations so that a correspondence may be made between theory and fact collected through data. Traditionally, these data were collected by using manpower, resources and time. Besides collection of data, analysis of the same was extremely cumbersome, keeping in view the variables and other cases in order to prove or justify the credible evidence between fact and theory. When the scope of research expands, it becomes difficult for the researcher to manage the data at hand. With the advent of computer in communication research, it is possible to analyze big data within a short duration, that too with precision. Whenever we discuss about computer, we must know that a computer per se does not help us in research unless relevant statistical programs are installed in the computer to analyze the data. In this lecture, we will discuss about most common statistical packages used in communication research, namely SPSS or statistical packages in social sciences and SAS, statistical analysis system. Although in the other lectures we have already discussed the basics of statistics. In this lecture, you will learn about statistical packages as SPSS and SAS, their uses, and to operate data analysis through this software in brief. We will also discuss how this will be useful in case of communication research. SPSS, statistical package for social sciences. Let us start with SPSS. SPSS is the most popular statistical package used in social science in communication research. Over the years, there has been many versions of SPSS available. Each one of them is a refinement from the other, providing more user-friendly program for the researchers. It is a statistical package for data manipulation, analysis, and presentation. It has very wide application in social science. Unlike other data analysis program, SPSS has the capacity to compute many statistical procedures with different sets of the very same data. The most important aspect of SPSS is that it not only allows us to understand the variation or differences, but also the relationships across variables and data. For those who are starting with SPSS as a beginner, functions like help menu, context menu, or help button provide assistance to go through the statistics coach, tutorial and topics menu. So let us discuss all the important points that are to be kept in mind for installing SPSS. For SPSS, you require a computer or a laptop of at least 256 MB RAM and 300 MB of free disk space. SPSS comes in various packages, only difference being that some of them come with additional categories with add-ons. So, how do we install SPSS from the internet? To quote Griffith, soap power comes in boxes, color comes in cans, corn dogs come on sticks, and SPSS comes on internet. However, it also comes in CD. All you need to know is how to install it, and if it's from internet, then you have to download it by following certain instructions. Let us discuss those in detail. Before beginning to download SPSS from internet, create a different folder, then it will be easy for you to access and search the latter. Let us now discuss step-by-step methods of how to install SPSS. Go to Google search. In this command box, write SPSS free download for Windows. You can choose anyone as you like. Download the software in your computer as instructed by the software site. Then it will appear as an icon on your computer screen or in the menu of all programs near the Start button. Open it by double-clicking or by right-click, then choose the Open option. How to communicate with SPSS. Let us now discuss how to communicate and interact with SPSS. There are multiple ways to talk with SPSS. Griffith described 4 easy ways to interact with SPSS. Let us discuss them one by one. GUI or graphical user interface. First is GUI, also known as graphical user interface. SPSS has user interface, that means you can use mouse and select things out of the given options. It's like fill in the blank method. You can fill the box and move with desired operations. The good thing about SPSS is that it ensures everything before proceeding to the next steps, which helps in avoiding any such mistake. Next is syntax. It is the internal language to command SPSS for action. Hence, it is also known as command language. Through this, analyzer can give instructions to SPSS for desired operation to be performed. In fact, the commands you will give by selecting and clicking different menus is being carried out by using syntax only. Next is Python. This is a language used for general purpose to write programs that will be operated inside SPSS. Last is scripts. The program written in BASIC in SPSS is called scripts. It's a very simple language and therefore has the maximum acceptability among the users. It also carries the facility of auto scripting. That means whenever SPSS will run, it will appear automatically. Data entry. Let us now discuss data entry. When SPSS for Windows first opens, a default dialog box appears that provides its user with number of options. As a beginner, one would like to open an existing file. Beginners can, through those files, observe the way the data has been entered, presented, etc. The interface of the data view spreadsheet can be managed by using the View menu from the drop-down list. This also gives the options like change font in the cells, remove lines, and make value level visible, etc. The variable view spreadsheet. Coming to the variable view spreadsheet, as the name suggests, variable view spreadsheet serves to variables. Name option view shows the name of the variable you have chosen. Type represents the type of data researcher used. Width shows the actual data entries. Default numerical variable entry is 8, which is changeable. Decimal represents the number of digits to the rights of the decimal place to be displayed. A level is attached to each variable name depending upon the category. Values are levels attached to each category. Let us try and understand this through an example. Entering data from questionnaire and analyzing the data in proper format is one of the most important part while working with the SPSS. For example, you are collecting basic information about your study group. We have to codify data in proper sequence. Here, we must note that SPSS understands number. So, if the question is, what is your gender? Then we give value 1 to male and 2 for female. We need to enter data in terms of coding. The coding should be arranged either in ascending or descending order depending upon the degree of occurring or the criteria you have fixed as per objective. For example, if you are entering the gender of your correspondent, then you can codify male as 1 and female as 2 or reverse 2, storing and retrieving data. Now we will discuss the process of storing and retrieving data. You can store or retrieve data on the menu bar by selecting File menu. There are two ways to save a file. Method 1, enter SPSS, an untitled datasheet will appear. Select on File, then select Open, click on the arrow under Drives and then select Save. The file extension will be .sav. Method 2, click on My Computer icon, select relevant drive, select data file and save. Now let us discuss the limitations of SPSS. Complete package of SPSS, which comes with many add-ons, specifically while running Python. These add-ons come with SPSS in CD format. However, SPSS accepts information in terms of number. So your information should be in number format after systematic coding. Now let us discuss STATA. STATA is a command-driven statistical package to manage the data in a smarter way. It provides multiple ways for data analysis, management, and to present them in graphic format. An analyst gets a bag of options to perform from several statistical operations like cross-section analysis, cohort analysis, time series, etc. It is in built format to handle both string and numeric co-options. However, it is case sensitive, that is, it regards lowercase and uppercase characters differently. So what are the prerequisites for using STATA? Zone in 2006 described the manual basics to use STATA as follows. STATA manuals are highly comprehensive in nature. They give additional support for operating statistical programs along with assistance about capabilities, procedures and commands, etc. STATA also provides technical support through email. The STATA user can send questions through email to tech@stata.com and concerned section will provide technical solution by mailing back. STATA reference manual comes in 4 volumes to guide users to operate this software. Besides, user-friendly guides and help decks is also available in the STATA site. So how do we install STATA? STATA is available at SSC archives. SSC provides user-friendly commands to download software, or else you can download STATA for Windows known as WSTATA. One can follow those steps and install STATA. To open STATA, you need to follow certain specific instructions. Click on Start button on computer screen, then click on All Programs, then click on STATA or sc.x, the version that you have downloaded, and click on dialog box and open the STATA software. Let us now discuss how should we begin with STATA. All operations result appear on the main window except the graphics part. STATA provides several other windows like data editor, graph, data viewer, log, do, etc. Data editor provides a spreadsheet where one can enter as well as edit data including its attributes. When you will enter into STATA, you will find 4 windows, namely review window, variables, STATA command and STATA results. Since it is a command-driven statistical package, so all you need to do is to type command in command box and press enter to pass on the command for further operations. Now we will discuss how to enter data in STATA. To enter data in STATA, an analyst needs to write command in proper format. Suppose you want to enter Professor Berger and then you need to enter Professor Berger. Similarly, if you want to write new version window, then you need to enter dot new version window. This is because, as we discussed earlier, STATA is case sensitive, so one needs to take care of cases. The basic syntax for commanding STATA is as follows: dot command variable, options. However, suppose you want to add some options to your operation, you need to add on commas to your syntax. Let us now move to graphic options in STATA. STATA provides graphic option with quick results. For example, the graph you see on your screen is a histogram showing using of ideas developed by subordinate by the supervisors over the period of time. Let us now learn the closing or saving of STATA files. Data saving procedure is quite easy in STATA. Data saving procedure is quite easy in STATA. We need to follow certain basic steps. Number 1, click on Save As. 2, give a name to the file. 3, choose the drive. And 4, save. STATA is mainly used to analyze quantitative data. It stores data in resident memory, unlike memory swappers softwares like SPSS, SAS, etc. However, the gray side is that if one wants to have access memory and want to store them as well, he or she needs additional memory to store them out. Data editing is also quite easy in STATA. It provides a separate window called data editor. Like other operations, you need to communicate the operation desired through command syntax. We will now discuss software R. The R system for statistical computing is an environment for data analysis and graphics. R is based on S language. S is an open source programming language meant for data analysis. Chambers in 1998 stated that S has forever changed how people analyze, visualize and manipulate data. R has an extensive graphics ability as well as analytical power. R is commonly used in communication research for specific purposes like missing data, bootstrapping and other sampling methods, model selection, social network analysis, demographic methods. R is compatible with different operating softwares like Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. This is because R is basically a programming language in comparison to other software programs. Now let us discuss the function of R via an example. Suppose you want to perform vector function. R as a software makes it easier for users, though it takes all vector syntax as a single entity. Your command to the console will be C in brackets 6, 7, 8, 9 and the screen would show 6, 7, 8 and 9. It must be noted that we need to use operators like multiplication, division, power while writing in vector function. Coming to the packages, R comes in several packages. You can log on into the site http://cran.rproject.org and download the complete package of R for performing different functions. Let us now look at the terms we need to know while working with R. First is CRAN, which means Comprehensive R Archive Network. It carries a bag of choices of identical, up-to-date versions of code and documentations for R. Next is Library Support. It's basically a directory containing all R packages. Let us discuss working with R. Working with R is easy. One needs to know proper function commands. Let us try and look at some of those. Storing and calculating values in R. Calculating values in R is comparatively easy, but it is not the most useful software when it comes to storing values. Setting variables. In R, you can set variables according to your preference. For example, when you will type V, it will appear as vary, the word that you have set for the particular variable. Now, we look at other saving options. Using R, one can save individual variable as well as the entire work. For saving individual work, you need to type save in brackets the name of the file, but while saving the entire, you need to save save.image in brackets, or else by using save command from editor option. It is to be noted R saves file without further confirmation. So one should have to check directory folder whether it's the saved or not. So now the question is STATA or SPSS or R. By now you must be confused which statistical software is better, which one you should use for your statistical operations. Now each software comes with its own advantage, special features and limitations. Let us list and compare these features they offer one by one. Starting with R. It's a library support software package that comes in open source, which gives you facility to store data in directories. It also provides you interactive visualization option, which helps in deeper exploration of data in comparison to static plots. However, in comparison to SPSS and STATA, R requires a lot of knowledge on programming, which makes learning process steep. Next is STATA. It provides easy statistical analysis options. So a user with basic knowledge of programming and statistics can work with STATA. It is less expensive in comparison to other software. Only disadvantage that STATA has is that it does not come from open source and is mostly used in scientific researches. Coming to SPSS, its operations are very similar to that of STATA, but its cost is higher as compared to other softwares. However, its downloadable version is available on internet. SPSS, due to its convenient command-based method of data operation, is used by all researchers across different fields. Now, let us summarize. In this lecture, we learned the different statistical softwares used in social sciences, their basic operations, and all. Although SPSS is widely used in social science research analysis, it is very expensive in comparison to other software. STATA is mostly command-driven, while R is based on function. However, in comparison to SPSS, analyzer requires more knowledge without writing, syntax in case of STATA and R. Not to forget, the best way to learn any statistical software is to use it and put it in application for various statistical requirement of the research and the study. Undoubtedly, these computer-operated softwares save time as well as money in managing staff for analysis purpose. With fundamental knowledge in statistics, one can attempt complex statistical operations. Further, we also discussed the strengths and weaknesses of these different statistical packages. As per as your convenience and requirement, you can conduct different statistical operations and analyze the data through any of these softwares. However, all of them have their own importance in analysis, but certainly no software can substitute human understanding and intuition. Do attempt the questions in the self-evaluate quadrant And for further reading suggestions, please refer to the third quadrant. Thank you.